I just wanna ride my bike, yeah. I'm just sick of always watching the news. I just wanna go outside, yeah. Spend a weekend way up top with a view.
What is up, everybody? So, we're doing this episode on CCT. It's pretty interesting. So, yeah, you might not know of the name, but you probably have had one of their products before. So they're based out here in Railaco in Timor Leste, and this area is considered the coffee capital of Timor Leste. So let's jump right into this episode and let's get right into it. So let's just do some overview, but let's do some econ overview first. So the economic development factors are land, labor, capital, which consists of human and physical, and entrepreneurship. So all of these four things make the world go around, so yeah. So all of these need to be in a business, and then you have a successful business for the most part. But that's a very broad overview of it. So let's jump into CCT now. Yeah, just keep that in mind. Just keep the econ or the development factors in the back of your mind. So, yeah, we have the CCT notes, and the main crop that they sell is coffee, and their approach is organic. So, no pruning, mulch, replanting, fertilization, or pesticides. It's not they're not profit driven, but I mean it's an important thing, but it's not everything. And they harvest when needed. So when the money or the community, or when the community needs the money, then they'll start harvesting when needed. And originally they had a model that was more yield over quality, and then they sent the product for processing to Indonesia. So the coffee starts off when it grows on the tree. They're called like cherries, and then once you get them, you have to get them further processed to get them to the brown beans that we know. And they're kind of reddish when they're still on the tree. So yeah, but when they first started, they went with the yield to quality, and yeah, so making more, reducing the quality is not very good. They realized the mistake, and then they made the switch to a higher quality product over a yield. So higher quality, less stuff, once we get that econ in there. And it is a co-op organization under USAID and CBA and CCT, so premium product and higher quality means you're able to charge at a higher price. That basic econ stuff. Supply and demand graph. So if we get the supply and demand graph, the supplies is going to shift left because they made an effort to produce a higher quality product, and you can't make as much because you're focusing on the quality. Thus, you're able to charge a higher price. And with ceteris paribus, about that, there was some noise. People are trying to watch a movie right now, but that's fine. But ceteris paribus, all things stay equal, and once you keep all that in place, we have the quality of the processing, blah blah blah, everything gets more efficient. And let's continue on with these notes. So a better and proper way of the applications of tech, international standards by the OCIA, aka the Coffee Bean International. They go through a rigorous grading process, and they try to stay competitive internationally. Some important factors to consider are International Quality Organic Coffee Member, International Organic Coffee Member, Quality Product, Liveliness, good relations with the government. So let's do some background notes on the CCT. So this is 100% Timorese owned secondary co-op process and they process and market the coffee beans. It's established in 2000 under TERADP, TERADP, and which stands for Timor Economic Rehabilitation and Development Project, and the NCBA, which is the national. There's a lot of acronyms here, so we're just going to go through all that. National Cooperative Business Association of America, grant from USA, 1994. PUSKUD East Timor. That's the name it was originally under. East Timor Center for Village Unit Co-ops, and the mission was to make coffee a cash crop in Timor Leste, and they totally did that. The demand for organic coffee just rose in the late 90s to early 2000s, about 68. I mean, this is a pretty old source right here, so I just oh man, I can't even think right now, but just consider that. And the water jug makes a noise, so yeah. So about 68 countries have joined at this time the IFOAM, International Federation of Organic Agricultural Movement, and it promotes and develops organic farming practices. The demand in 1992 was 197 tons to 445 tons in 1993, so that's 126% up from that year. So, yeah. Autonomous Organic Coffee Division Unit. They were still under the PUSKUD Timor in 1995, and it became a competitive player against PT Batara Indra and PT Denok. East Timor votes for independence after popular Constitution on the 30th of August 1999, and they changed the name to CCT, the name that they have right now. Project goals, they're still the same as when it started, and that's to improve the level of welfare of coffee growers, introduce marketing change to the population, and to contribute to planning and policy development for a commodity which supports the economy of people of East Timor. So organic coffee demand is generally for US, Europe, and Australia. So I'll just give you a rundown on these years. The coffee demand. So the year 1995, they only wanted the demand for coffee was only around 30 tons, and then 1996, 457 tons, and then to 2001, it was 1,320 tons. And the prices for organic are up about for US dollars, about 20 cents to 30 cents higher. I got a phone call right now. I will ignore that, but yeah, I'll get back to it. So 20 to 30 cents higher per pound than non-organic. And Europe has more steady prices. They receive more supply for organic beans. The TERDA program objectives were primary health of CCT family members, development of vanilla and cattle, fattening industries on a national level, diversifying industry aside from coffee, formal and non-formal education programs, so business and co-op training, organic coffee industry. So basically you're not allowed to use inorganic fertilizers or pesticides. Traditional and low input techniques. Okay, yeah, that's what happens when you record in a public space. There's a lot of different distractions, but that's fine. We'll just get over it. It's not too bad. No inorganic fertilizers, pesticides. You have to use traditional to low input techniques. So management, planting, and harvesting all have to be pretty low. Other factors have to be on check. So erosion control, pruning, shade, weed control, supply for organic inputs. And you have to help a variety of stakeholders: coffee growers, processors, traders, and consumers. Basically, you put good in, you get good out. Good microorganisms in the soil and plants and animals. Yeah, you get the idea. And organic coffee culture. So let's start with the first thing. So to be organic, location has to be delineated, inspected, and certified annually. I've got a lot of typos on my script. Inspected and certified annually by Organic Crop of the United States with no inorganic fertilizers or pesticides. 2 varieties adapted naturally to the soil and local climate and local. Free from pests and diseases. Shade trees. So they have these special trees, the Timor Leste plants, which are the Casuarina Jungiana and Harciaranthus falsataria, and they protect the coffee trees from light. So there are these bigger trees that protect the little trees from light, wind, and they give them shade. So yeah, shade grown coffee is, yeah, they need a lot of help. Because this place gets a lot of sun, and the sun would just destroy these plants. So yeah, you need to get these big trees to protect the little tree. It all works out, So in cropping, so you have to plant these shade trees 2 to 3.5 years in advance, and then the coffee plants planted as sown, not seeds. So you have to have a starter coffee plant rather than the seeds. So I think they just grow better. Soil fertility, maintain and increase organically with organic matter, compost, manure, mulch, blah blah blah. Pest disease control, organic methods, integrated pest management. CCT's other activities, their extension and other advisory services. They are in 5 districts: Hermera, Likisau, Aleyu, Ainaro, and Manufai. There's a bunch of numbers, but it's all outdated, so I won't give you that. Some activities are identifying and arranging organic certifications, setting up TEHAD demonstrations, setting up wet processing factories for coffee, dry processing, and data collection on coffee blocks and levels of production, improving quality, efficiency, and health of workers, diversifying crops, education, preparing shade trees, and providing basic living commodities at a reasonable price, and prepping skills for farmers. Coffee technology improvements. They want to improve better practices, trim coffee trees before they reach 7 to 10 meters high to provide greater sunlight and facilitate better air circulation, reduce humidity and remove old unproductive branches. They want to get a tree shade nursery, so if they need something, they will always have some tree shades, so their coffees will be good. Replanting seedlings, composting, field measurements and registrations, and assist copy